Good morning. My name is Cindy Nino from St. Peter's University, and I'm the Director of Graduate and Adult Admission. Welcome to our webinar. The webinar is scheduled for 40 minutes. We will take questions at the end of the webinar. You may type your questions in the chat box on your screen. I will read them aloud and ask the questions in the order received. Okay, I would like to introduce you to Professor Edward Moskal, our Chair of Department of Computer Science and Director of Masters of Cybersecurity Program and University Cybersecurity Center, who will take us through the MS, Masters of Science Program in Cybersecurity and our new blockchain technology emphasis.
Well, thank you, Cindy, and welcome everybody. We have a full packed agenda here today for us. So let's get right into it. We'd like to start out the webinar talking a little bit about our department mission, and then move into what is cybersecurity, talk about our program, which has been in place since the fall of 2016, then move into our cybersecurity center with our main tenets of excellence, talk about career paths and employment projections, which are important for everybody and is a major emphasis in the program that we have. And then kind of wrap it up with talking about how we apply and what makes St. Peter's so special, and then a little wrap-up summary and conclusion. So like Cindy had mentioned, please send your messages regarding questions, which we could incorporate throughout the presentation, and then we could take a couple questions at the end as we wrap up. So thanks again for attending and participating, and let's get going. So our department mission is really to strive for excellence in the creation and dissemination of knowledge in many, many domains, including obviously computer science and blockchain. We also have a data science master's program here where we blend in some of the technology that is in that program with our cybersecurity center. What's cybersecurity? So this is a really good slide to talk about, to define and delineate the difference between cyber in an organization and what cybersecurity is and what it strives to do. So when we talk about cyber in an organization, it's really all the assets that include all the computer infrastructure and devices, including applications and telecommunications. It's really the totality of everything transmitted and stored in the organization, where cybersecurity strives to ensure the attainment and maintenance of the security properties of the company and the assets of the personnel that work in the company against any risks, threats, and vulnerabilities in the environment. So when we talk more about cybersecurity and defining that, we could look at it from a standpoint of that it is a collection of a number of tools, could be hardware products, software products, enterprise-wide mechanisms, packages like Splunk. Splunk is a package enterprise version that we have in our cybersecurity center. Our students are trained in it. Different technologies for encryption, policies regarding cybersecurity, responsible use policies, policies on virus protection, content management, backup and recovery. And then we move into risk management approaches where we look at threat, probability of occurrence, and different types of incidents that could take place in a cyber environment and risk rate them to know where focus and attention needs to be to incorporate technology assets and resources to mitigate those risks. And then finally, there's training for IT personnel as well as business personnel to help with the cybersecurity overall arching architecture that gets put in place. So for all these, this collection of tools and technologies, there's many, many vendors. There's hundreds of vendors, IBM, Cisco, Splunk. There's consulting companies like Ernst & Young, Deloitte and Touche that have practices that work with their clients to help ensure that their risk is mitigated to the extent possible in the cyber environment. So one of the areas we like to focus on in our coursework is to look at our cybersecurity attack maps. We have a number of these in our cyber center that we have streaming 24/7, and it shows the different attacks that are being launched and the different vectors from one country to another. It shows on the left the attack origin, on the right the attack targets, and on the bottom right the attack types, whether it be telnet, HTTP, CSD, perhaps a port, or some kind of known vulnerability within Microsoft. And you can see there in the United States, in the central part, since Norse is located in St. Louis, well, a lot of the targeted activity is to bring them down, along with the Northwest where Microsoft is, on the West Coast where Silicon Valley is, and on the East Coast where the New York Metro Financial District is. So it's pretty cool. We study these attacks, and we have other maps that we look at to bring that into the farm and for really good dynamic discussion in the classroom. So our program, a 30-credit program consisting of a battery of courses from cybersecurity and risk management through ethical hacking, disaster recovery. The digital forensics class is really cool. We have a subject matter expert from the FBI and Secret Service that comes in and complements our primary professor in the program to teach that. We also have a blockchain course that's 6 credits. We're offering that this summer to our internal students where they can get a $1,000 scholarship to take it. And also to the broader community where if you're a working IT professional or a business professional and you have a undergraduate degree, minimum requirement in computer science, engineering, math, or business, you can qualify to take that. So from a educational standpoint and teaching standpoint, we have professors that have very deep experience in cybersecurity from both a business and an academic standpoint with 25 plus years of experience in different domains of expertise, whether it be in the CY 520 course where we have an attorney that teaches that with a member of the Department of Philosophy to bring in the ethical concerns aspects, to the International Telecom Network class where we have a seasoned pro in networks working 25 years in that industry, bringing that to the classroom, or somebody like our new hire that has worked 30 years in IT in the financial service area that really works with many different things in cybersecurity and risk management, including disaster recovery and malware analysis. So this is a program in the evening in Jersey City campus. We're in classroom, online, and hybrid. We have 4 courses that are in classroom. We have 1 online, and then the other 5 are hybrid. So moving into the blockchain, this is the new course for the summer, and it starts June 25th. It's a 5-week program. Classes are on Tuesday and Thursday evenings at 6 o'clock till 9:15. We have queued up subject matter experts, industry guest speakers. It's going to be technical focus and business focus, as well as proof of concept, which means that we're actually going to put in blockchain applications using our research computers in our cybersecurity center. So 6 credits, 4 module focus. The modules being blockchain technology cases and corporate experience. That's more of a higher level course. And then we get into the next module, which is blockchain foundations and mathematical underpinnings, where we open up the hood of the engine, so to speak, and get into all those technical and algorithmic details. Then we move into the development platforms. So the IBM Hyperledger, open source Hyperledger, platforms, Ethereum, and language foundations, the different program code languages, whether it be Golang, Node, or JavaScript, we'll learn that. And then the final module is the blockchain practicum and project, actually programming project, where we will roll our sleeves up and have the whereabouts to actually put in an application that would be a proof of concept in an industry that you would like to be aligned with. So something to check out over the next couple weeks and see if you're interested in possibly attending and participating in this awesome summer course. So one of our focuses in the program is on internships and job opportunities. Every person coming through the program needs to have an internship minimum of 6 months, unless you work in IT already or cybersecurity full-time or part-time. So I would say about 60% of our students work already, but the other 40% could be new students coming in and don't have that experience. So we require everybody, if you don't have a job in IT or cyber, to do this internship, so that when you get out of the program, we'll know that you can walk the walk and talk the talk and represent St. Peter's in an excellent way, as we are all about excellence. So we also have the SEAL, the Center for Engagement, who has a conduit into many companies in the Metro New York area to help students identify full-time jobs as well as internships. And we have a number of organizations that we partner with to land internships. So you can see this list going from JP Morgan all the way through Splunk and IQ4 to St. Peter's University, where we actually have our own internal internship program for our university cybersecurity center. We have a very, very robust club that meets every month, where we attend conferences, webinars, we have ethical hacking contests. We take trips to the National Cybersecurity Center of Excellence in Maryland. They were an excellent sounding board for us as we developed our cyber center and our undergraduate and graduate programs. So kudos to them for helping us put this in place to where it is today. We have blockchain meetings and meetups. We have a new meetup organization that we started for the community in Jersey City to talk about blockchain technology from an academic standpoint for developers, architects, systems analysts in business and industry to attend. We have digital forensic meetups, as well as our cybersecurity executive lecture series, which we have 2 times a semester with subject matter experts from major leading corporations to talk about cybersecurity from their standpoint and the concerns that they have in their industry and business. The last couple ones we had was Cisco, IBM, the FBI, and JP Morgan Chase. So some really good presentations, and we'll be obviously continuing that in the foreseeable future. So one of the things I want to bring to your attention is a year ago in 2016 in the fall, we were invited by Kaspersky Lab and The Economist, one of 20 universities in the United States, and it was actually open to a couple of universities internationally to participate in the fall cybersecurity contest. It was on the election in the United States, the presidential one, and the goal and objective was to come up with a blockchain solution to help protect the US voting system. So we took 3 of our top gun cybersecurity students to work on this, and they put together the deliverables, and it was published and advertised in the Economist website and magazine for 6 months with bios and profiles of our team members and some press releases on the university. And so the reason why I have this slide up here is just to show you where we have come and what the market perceives our St. Peter's University cyber program to be. And then more importantly, the opportunities for you, the student, to come here and work on awesome projects like this where you can get your name out there in the street. So our cybersecurity center is a state-of-the-art environment where really everybody, students, faculty, business vendors, outside organizations can come and collaborate and do research with the latest technology with a very rich and dynamic learning experience. So the purpose of the center is obviously to enhance our students' education and to engage them from an experiential learning standpoint, which means that by working in the center, and students can be internships in that center, they could take what they learned and leverage that out into the community for full-time work and part-time jobs. We form public and private alliances with a number of organizations, junior colleges, 4-year colleges. I mentioned the National Cybersecurity Center of Excellence. We have a cybersecurity board we're going to talk about in a second, made of corporate membership. So we want to really provide outreach broadly, locally, regionally, nationally, as well as internationally, focusing on cybersecurity and workshops and education, promoting best practice of cybersecurity. So leading in here now, our cybersecurity center consists of a number of domains. You can see the cyberspace one on the top, which is like an overarching one for the center. But basically, we have education, leadership, outreach, research, and university collaboration. So I'd like to just kind of go through each of those quickly with you. So the overarching one talks about national security and cyber threats and terrorism and warfare. And the bottom line is really protecting our national interests and corporations and persons' privacy, and really to then drive economic prosperity. Because with all the malware attacks and the vectors that are being levied on corporations, whether large business or small business, it does have an adverse impact on our economy. So then we have education, and you can see anywhere from courses to our labs to our cybersecurity club. We got that going really, really well. And to give you a little perspective of some of our labs, we have those cyber attack visualization maps in our center. The one I showed you was Norse. We have that Kaspersky map. Obviously, I had mentioned we did that competition that they invited us to very, very well. We have a number of tools, whether it be the SANS SIFT, which is about 300 different forensic tools that we could use to analyze and look at data, to recover it, and to come up with conclusions regarding how that data was erased and removed from different technology platforms. We have OS Forensics all the way through CrypTool and Cyber Siege, which is actually a pretty cool game, which emulates a corporation with different employees in it. And you need to be able to triage different cybersecurity threats and attacks to different people in the organization to come up with solutions and risk mitigation procedures. We also have our cybersecurity and ethical hacking computer environments that we incorporate into our classes. So most of our classes have a battery of 12 to 14 lab assignments where you have actual hands-on, real-time into a lab environment where you could remotely do the work 24/7 with a PC or a Mac. So it's a pretty cool lab environment, both physical and virtual, and we get really high reviews on the course evaluations from the students regarding the technology base and platforms that we're using in the program. We also have a knowledge repository, and you can see there the different silos and sections we have. I really like the internship sections because that is where we highlight all of our internships every semester. So typically we have about 12 interns, 8 undergraduate and 4 graduate students working each semester. And so there's a number of projects that are given to everybody, including the graduate students. And one of the roles of the graduate students is to manage and supervise the undergraduates. So not only do the interns from the grad program have that experience doing things technically, but they also develop some soft skills, which is really important as they supervise those undergraduate interns. We also have our boot camps and our incubator, which is for our capstone class, where every student in the grad capstone class needs to work on publishing a research white paper and also work in cohorts of 2 to 5 students to design, develop, and launch a cybersecurity startup company. So we have gone through 2 iterations of our capstone course, and we have some awesome startup companies that our students have developed and have already started making money. So you will have the opportunity to do that as part of our program. We have an internet radio station that we're launching. We have student competitions. We have the links to our labs. We have identity theft information as well as information on jobs and internship opportunities right here. Once you get plugged into St. Peter's, it's your one-stop shopping to know everything about everything we're doing in the program. So moving on to the next domain, leadership. This is really important to us as well. from a domain standpoint, our board, our vendor relationships, our coordination and interest in the National Cyber Center, work with the NSA. We have a $500,000 grant submitted to the NSA on our program to create 3 new tracks, one in research, one in data science, and one in digital forensics. So we should be hearing soon from them regarding the award, and then we'll just ratchet that in and make it part of our program. Our board consists of a number of people in major corporations, Cisco, Horizon Blue Cross, all the way through IBM, JP Morgan, AT&T, J&J, with some really prominent experts, subject matter people that help us steer and inspire change for the program. Our outreach is our lecture series, along with education and academic partnerships. And our research are the publications and white papers that our students do, along with the grants and directed research and the new technology that we bring in. And finally, the last domain is the collaboration with other departments in the institution, at the university, where we go in and make presentations on cybersecurity when topics in those courses present themselves with that. So in wrapping up here, I just want to talk a little bit about careers, really important. You can see the salary ranges, 71K to 120K, really for any of these areas, computer and information systems managers, database administrators, all the way through detectives and criminal investigators and private detectives that work with digital forensics. So we had a study done a few years ago that shows projections, and you can see that in the top right corner. Overall, from a regional standpoint, there's about 6,000 openings annual per year between that time period, 2012 and 2022. The national is 400,000, and the New Jersey projections are just about 1,200. So there's plenty of jobs out there in the cybersecurity market, and our program is geared to, as you come in, get that internship internally or have a job externally as you walk through the program courses, and then have that on your resume, and then be able and be ready to get that full-time job when you're in the program, because it's an evening course structure, or as soon as you get out. So to get into the program, complete the application at the website, St. Peter's /cyber-security. We need a personal statement of 500 words. Communicate with myself at Moscow or grad admissions, Cindy Nino, who is the moderator of the webinar. For international students, try to schedule the TOEFL as soon as you can. We could waive the GRE and the GMAT. And so for the international folks, the deadline is this time frame of June 1st for the fall and November 1st for the spring. So what's special about St. Peter's? Well, St. Peter's is a very special knit community. The classroom size is anywhere from 15 to 25 students. Everybody is intimately knowledgeable of what's going on in that classroom. And so the professors are able to assist those students with resumes, job interviews, helping them with their career, working with research projects, working in the lab, identifying areas that the students want to dig deeper into, coming up with boot camps and workshops on weekends or the weeknights where students can get a little more information and network with their peer students, so that when it's time to do the capstone, they will have a cohort of students already working on a build and launch of a startup company. So they'll be in good alignment with the deliverable for that course. And obviously, the other connection with St. Peter's is we're so close to New York City. You can see it on the map on the left. We're just about 12 minutes away via a train. That's a tube under the water, the Hudson, and it'll take you right to New York City, to all the major corporations are where you could get a job. So in conclusion, our master's program provides students with some really outstanding advanced skills needed to protect and defend information systems from cyber attacks, and to also, by providing that cyber center, provide a state-of-the-art environment where students, faculty, business partners, and vendors can collaborate, conduct research, and work with the latest technology, providing a rich and dynamic experience. And finally, we have this slideshow here. It's a little video that we have on our website. So we encourage you to check it out when you get a chance. And let me stream it here for a minute. And then after this, we will turn it over to Cindy for some questions. And then we'll do a wrap up and summary.
Our world relies on secure digital systems. What's vulnerable? Everything. Infrastructure, finance, national security. Everything is connected, so everything is at risk. Cybersecurity experts are needed in every industry. St. Peter's University Cybersecurity Master's Degree Program and Premier Cyber Center identifies threats and combats attacks. To secure the future, be a part of building it with St. Peter's University Cybersecurity Program.
Cybersecurity is so important in today's global environment because of the cyber risk. So we need to address that with students that will learn the skill sets to be able to defend organizations from cyber attacks.
They try to make sure that we are aligned with the industry.
So what does the job market look like in cybersecurity? Well, it's very strong nationwide. In fact, in New Jersey, there's approximately 12,000 job openings.
Through St. Peter's, I was able to secure a job with the County Prosecutor's Cyber Division.
So now I'd like to open it up to Cindy for the questions that you may have polled so far. And we have a couple minutes for that.
Okay. So thank you, Professor Moskal, and thanks everyone for all the questions. Our first question comes from New Brunswick, New Jersey. Our question is, I'm looking to change careers. What type of professional experience should I have?
Okay, so if you're looking to change careers, it would really depend on what you have now. So if you're in a business and you've been working there from a business process or computer technology, marketing, sales, an analysis position, if your math is good and you have an undergraduate degree in business or computer science, then this program would be ideal for you. So yeah, I would say, send in the application, and once we get that and we get your package within 24 hours after I receive it from grad admissions, we could render a decision and send you a letter.
Okay. Our next question is from Pune, India. What are the backgrounds of your faculty?
Okay, the backgrounds of our faculty, we have our network professor, 25 years of IT experience, advanced degrees in computer science and business. We have another faculty member, teaches malware analysis, cryptocurrency, ethical hacking, blockchain, 30 years of academic experience, has a number of patents, has been awarded a number of NSF grants. He is like one of the top guns in the area that we're able to get from another university. So he started 2 years ago. So he's like the mainstay right now with our program. We also have the Secret Service and FBI partner that is a subject matter in-house resident that we bring into our digital forensics course. In our legal class, we have an attorney that has 20 years experience in case law and cybersecurity. Myself, I have 22 years of IT experience. My last job in industry was with Ernst & Young in New York, where I led the office, their application controls and security practice for all the Fortune 50 companies. I've been at St. Peter's for 16 years now. So I'm the person that birthed the program and have a really good pulse for what companies want out there for their internships and full-time job opportunities. So that's like the crux of the nucleus of our professors. Then we have some adjuncts that we have that actually have recently graduated from the program that have 15 plus years of IT experience already coming into the program. And I thought that they were so awesome that, we would provide them with that opportunity, which they've done this past semester. And I'm really eager to look at the evaluation, which I'm quite sure will be very, very favorable.
Okay. Do we have time for one more question?
I think we have time for one more question.
Okay, from Tanzania. This next question is, can you tell us a little bit about the internships?
Sure. Okay, so the internships will start midway through the first semester. the first trimester. So like in October, once you get settled in, you know the professors, we know you, you know us. If you don't have a job, then we talk to you and we invite you to be an intern in our cybersecurity center. We identify a list of tasks that we co-develop with you to do. A lot of it could be done virtually, some of it's done on campus, and then we align you with some students in the undergraduate program to supervise. So it's an awesome opportunity. You do it for 6 months, you put it on your resume, and then that is something that you could bring to the SEAL, our Department of Engagement and Learning, so that they could work with you to look for the full-time job opportunity that you desire.
Okay.
Okay, well, I think that's pretty much the time allocation that we have, Cindy. So I'd like to thank everybody for attending and the participation on the questions. And we look forward to any questions that you have down the road. And really, again, appreciate your time. So Cindy, I'd like to turn it back over to you for any final comments.
Okay, so this concludes our webinar today. If you have any follow-up questions, please do not hesitate to contact Graduate Admissions at 201-761-6470 or Professor Moskal at emoskal@stpeters.edu. Thank you and have a great rest of the day.